In example 3, let's write each of these out. We got a lot of big words here. It says the tang is a saltwater fish that inhabits the shallow coral reefs in the tropical areas. Tangs are part of the Anchuthridae family with surgeonfish and unicorn fish. All members of the Anchuthridae family are saltwater fish. Write the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive of this true, that's a hint, true conditional statement. Tangs are fish that live in salt water. Determine whether the related conditional is true or false. If the statement is false, let's do a counterexample. So we're going to start here with our conditional. Although they didn't ask for it, let's write it so we understand what's going on. So our conditional would be, and that's true, if a fish is a tang, then it lives in salt water. Now we're going to turn around and we're going to write the converse. We're just going to flip the hypothesis and the conclusion around. This is how we learn this, is to do it. So we'd say if a fish lives in salt water, then it is a tang. Notice this is not true. Our counterexample they gave us in the words, it could be a surgeonfish. Come on. What did I do there? I lost, oh, there, I put it on the side. Okay. The fish could be a surgeonfish. Or you could say it could be a unicorn fish or any other fish that lives in salt water. Multiple correct ways to come up with a counterexample. Next, let's do the inverse. So on my inverse, I'm going to keep the same order. So I'm going to go back to my original condition. I'm going to put the not in each part, or if the not is there, I'm going to take it out. So if a fish is not a tang, then it is not live in salt water. Notice this is also false for the same reason. Okay? Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to try that again. little overlap there, but you get the idea. Finally, let's do the contrapositive. Now I'm going to do the converse of the inverse. So I'm going to flip them and make an opposite. So I'm going to say, if a fish does not live in salt water, then it is not a tang. And notice this one is true, isn't it? And that's going to be how it always works when it comes to truth and false. Now, when I say how does that always work, what I mean by that is whatever the truth value of my conditional statement is, the contrapositive will be that same truth value. So the conditional is true, the contrapositive is going to be true. If the conditional is false, the contrapositive is going to be false. And the same thing goes with the converse and the inverse. If the converse and whatever truth value the converse is, the inverse is going to have that same truth value. So in this problem, the converse was false, so the inverse was false. In this case, the conditional was true, so the contrapositive was true. And that goes all the way. Now, the conditional and converse, they could both be true. They could be an example of this case where one is true and the other is false, so they could both be false. Now, a case where they're both the conditional and the contrapositive are true is called the biconditional. Okay, so the conditional and its converse are true. The symbol we use for biconditional is the double arrow. We say if and only if, and if you ever see it written as IFF, that is not if spelled wrong. That's abbreviation for if and only if. So if I don't want to write if and only if because it gets kind of long, we'll just write IFF, if and only if. We'll do that one on the next video.